Gabby Cersei describes her daughter Gabriella Dixion as her mini-me, but she just hopes wherever her daughter is, she will be fine too.
I'm still holding on to faith.
Last Tuesday, Cersei says she never got a call or text from her daughter to let her know where she was. When Dixon's kids arrived to her home, she said the 2-year-old said something that rattled her.
She touched my knees and she said, "Mama, Gabby is sleeping in blood."
Even when she dropped the babies off to my ex-wife or to me or her sisters, she'll call to check on her babies. Like, "Dad, I'm doing this, how my baby's doing." That let me know that something wasn't right, because that's something she don't do. That's totally out of character.
Today, we will be in Monroe County, Georgia, to give an update on a missing mother of two, Gabrielle Dixion. Gabby, as many called her, vanished October 27, 2023, from Bibb County in Georgia. She was last with the father of her 2 children, and the two had a troubled past. To get a better understanding of Gabby's story, we will go back to the story I did when she first went missing. This information is being given from the details she personally put out on her social media before she went missing. This is 18-year-old Gabriella Dixion's story, and sadly, the horrible things she endured before going missing. Hi, my name is Gabrielle Dixion. I'm 18 years old and a mother to 2 beautiful girls. I am missing, and no one has seen me since October 30th, 2023. My family is desperately searching for me. I was last seen on the 1900 block of Pine Hills Drive in Macon, Georgia. To understand what may have happened to me, let me go back a few years when I was around the age of 16. I was in a relationship with a boy named Reginald Harris, and he is the father of my 2 children. He had put his hands on me for the first time, but he apologized and said he snapped and it would never happen again. I did not tell anyone because he was my first real boyfriend, my first true love. He would give me gifts because I came from a family that only had enough to make sure we had what we need. He knew that I was the black sheep of my family, so he listened to my problems and always offered me to come run away to his house. He knew that I didn't experience much, so he made sure to introduce me to things so I could always have that first time moment with him. He knew to show me just enough interest in me, not too much to keep me chasing him, because he knew I craved attention. He knew I was shy and more introverted, so he encouraged me not to have friends and that we would be each other's friends. He knew I always had a hard time at feeling pretty, so at first he made me feel more beautiful than anyone else ever did in my life. Then he made sure to point out my biggest insecurities. Then he would never compliment me, so I stopped feeling confident and making any effort. He knew to always be charming to my family and to make sure he always looked like a good young man. He came to church with us faithfully to every event. He would come over and he would just sit in the living room and just hang out. And when we had our first child, he didn't leave. So everyone loved him and he did no wrong. When it started happening more frequently, I didn't really process it. It felt like a dream, like I was one of those wives in a movie. Afterwards, I would think, this can't be happening to me. I'm only a teenager. Maybe if I keep crying and stop fighting back, he'll stop. However, it didn't help that by now he had completely isolated me, so I had no one to vent to about all of this, and he was my only friend. My relationship with my mom wasn't great because I always ran away. He encouraged me to argue with her, and as far as my siblings, he knew that I didn't have a relationship with them. So he took advantage by further dividing us, by forming bonds with them, making me seem like a bad person just to get advice on how to deal with me. It even got to the point that he was so close to them that they wouldn't even tell me, their blood sister, that he would be cheating at first. He would apologize and love on me, but then he would just stop pretending to feel bad altogether. These are some of the things he would say. I didn't leave bruises, so what proof do you have? After everything I did for you, I've been the one there for you. If you leave me, you're the one that's not going to have anything. You're going to be without. And you're over-exaggerating. I didn't barely touch you. And nobody's going to believe you. The girls needed a 2-parent house and to get over it. We got kids together. You're going to ruin my life. I have to be there for them. So with that being said, I accepted it. Plus, I didn't have any proof. And I have kids now. and they needed their dad in their life, and I'm already a statistic. I don't want to further hurt them by growing up without a two-parent household and have daddy issues. He's a provider. It makes things easier. I can get over temporary pain. That's what I told myself. From there, it started to get worse. From hittings to beatings to chokings to being held at gunpoint with threats. He would say, "I'll do you, then I'll do me." Somehow, he managed to never leave bruises. I wanted proof so I could get away from him. He was obsessed. He always showed up to my place. He would use the kids as a pawn to manipulate me. This was very unhealthy, and I felt trapped. I would cry for my mom, hoping one day she would notice my isolation and try to talk to me about it. But it never happened. No one did. I couldn't blame them, though. I didn't speak up about what was happening. This picture here is the first time he left any kind of proof. This was also the first time I called my mom for help. She came to get me. My eye was swollen for a week. My head was hurting terribly. Any light hurt, and I had blurred vision. I now have a permanent scar on my eyebrow. This is some of the backstory to my incident. It was July 31st, 2023. I tried to move on. I tried to get him to understand that I didn't want to be with him or have nothing to do with him. He waited until I got dropped off, and as soon as I heard the screeching of tires and a car door slam, I ran. I didn't even attempt to go to my apartment. He chased me down like I was prey and beat me. He parked his car and chased me down again and beat me some more. He even got inside of his car, left, came back, and beat me again, leaving me with a concussion and bleeding. I was wet because it all happened outside. He had taken my phone, and I was knocking on multiple neighbors' doors for help. One finally came out, and I called the police, which did not show up, and also my mom for help. She seemed to be annoyed because it was 4 a.m. My little sister was with her. She didn't even show an ounce of concern. Overall, my whole family now knows. My whole family is still friendly with him. My family doesn't even care, but I am learning to report him. This situation really did it for me. I would make it to the hospital. A nurse who was so nice talked to me and gave me her number if I ever wanted to talk. He got me flowers and a balloon after I left the hospital. He had never given me flowers after he hurt me. That's when I remembered a poem I read, and I knew I had to leave. This is the poem. I got flowers today. It wasn't my birthday or any special day. We had our first argument last night, and he said a lot of cruel things that really hurt. I know that he is sorry and didn't mean to say the things he said because he sent me flowers today. I got flowers today. It wasn't our anniversary or any other special day. Last night, he threw me into a wall and started to choke me. It seemed like a nightmare. I couldn't believe that it was real. I woke up this morning sore and bruised all over. I know he must be sorry because he sent me flowers today. I got flowers today, and it wasn't Valentine's Day or any other special day. Last night, he beat me and threatened to kill me. Makeup and long sleeves didn't hide the cuts and bruises this time. I couldn't go to work today because I didn't want anyone to know, but I know he's sorry because he sent me flowers today. I got flowers today, and it wasn't Mother's Day or any other special day. Last night, he beat me again, and it was worse than all of the other times. If I leave him, what will I do? How will I take care of my kids? What about money? I'm afraid of him, but I'm too scared to leave him. But he must be sorry because he sent me flowers today. I got flowers today. Today was a special day. It was the day of my funeral. Last night, he took my life. If I only would have gathered the courage and strength to leave him, I could have received help from the women's shelter, but I didn't ask for their help, so I got flowers today for the last time. Sadly, this may be the case for 18-year-old Gabby because she has vanished without a trace. Her family fears the worst and suspects foul play. Gabby's ex, Reginald, will be picked up by authorities in the first week of November for outstanding warrants. Reginald has 4 warrants for domestic charges but has not been charged in connection with Gabby's disappearance. The warrants for Reginald stem from 2 alleged attacks on September 3rd and September 23rd of this year. On September 3rd, Gabby reported that she was driving down Old Clinton Road headed to a hair appointment for one of her 2 daughters. when she heard a honk and saw Reginald driving behind her. Gabby said he started to shoot at the car that she was in with their 2 children and her current boyfriend, and that was according to the warrant report. He would continue to shoot until he got onto Spring Street. While Gabby was on the phone with 911, she said they lost sight of Reginald, but then he called her and told her to pull up to his location. A deputy would then get on the line to try to get him to pull up, and Reginald thought it was the boyfriend in the car speaking. Reginald asked where they were at because he had wrecked his car trying to follow them according to the warrant. Gabby then told him he was going to jail for shooting at them, but Reginald denied shooting at them. Gabby then told him he could have shot any bystanders or one of their children. Reginald asked the kids were in there and said she was disrespecting him by having her new boyfriend around his kids, according to the report. Gabby then showed the deputies a series of text messages between herself and Reginald leading up to the alleged shooting, and one of the text messages said, "Don't be surprised when I knock on the door." Then on September 23rd, Reginald allegedly choked Gabby before pointing a gun at her and threatened to unalive her if she left him. The responding deputies said they saw a pair of bruises on Gabby's neck. The deputies would advise Gabby to get a restraining order at the time, but it does not appear that she ever got one. Gabby's father said he last spoke with his daughter on October 27th after helping her move into a new apartment in Macon. He said that she was really excited about this new place and new start. After Gabby vanished, Reginald would drop the kids off at Gabby's mother's house, and Gabby's 2-year-old said she saw Mommy laying in blood. And a police report indicated that the child told the police the same thing. Months and months would pass, and Gabby's family kept up the fight to keep her name alive. Her mother was holding on to faith that Gabby would be found alive and never gave up hope. However, on July 24, 2024, construction workers stumbled upon what appeared to be human remains in a wooded area. According to a press release from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to a call on Highway 87 about skeletal remains being found. When they got there, construction workers led them to the area in the woods. The remains were collected and sent to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation Crime Lab for identification, according to the release. According to Gabby's mother, the family was notified around 2:30 p.m. that day about the findings. Even though the remains still have to officially be identified through forensics based on the red hair color and the clothing on the remains, they were 99% sure the remains were Gabby's. The family said they were told it appears she may have been shot in the head.
Dixon's been missing for nearly 9 months, and now the Bibb Sheriff's Office believes her remains were found this afternoon. Jasmine Lee spoke with neighbors in Monroe County who reacted to the investigation as it unfolded on their street.
The Bibb County Sheriff's Office believes remains found in Monroe County are that of a missing Macon 18-year-old.
I'm in real disbelief.
Shirley Appling lives near where construction workers found the remains, back in the woods off Highway 87 in Baldwin Road. Monroe County Sheriff's Office said around 2:30 Wednesday afternoon, they were told by the crew about a body at the worksite. Their office then notified the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. They're now handling the case.
I ride my UTV through here all the time and never smelt anybody, never smelt anything or noticed anything out the way.
Neighbors were shocked a crime and discovery like this could happen on their street.
I was shocked. I'm kind of scared. Because anything that happened, I ain't know nothing like that happened around here.
It was surprising, really surprising that the body been here all this time.
The remains have been sent to the GBI to be possibly identified.
Gabby's ex, Reginald Harris, and father of her 2 kids, was arrested on November 7, 2023 for separate crimes against her before she disappeared. From that point forward, he has still been behind bars. However, he was not the only one that was suspected in Gabby's disappearance, and another boy, who is Reginald's cousin, 19-year-old Jatarvius Price, was arrested in connection to Gabby's disappearance as well on November 17, 2023. He was charged with making false statements and tampering with evidence, but it was unclear what role he played in the case. According to an indictment in Bibb County Superior Court, they accused Jatarvius of tampering with the mattress. He was given a bond and was out the very next day, November 18th. However, by January 8, 2024, court records show not only was Jatarvius charged with tampering with evidence, but Reginald was too. Then, Gabby's remains were located on Wednesday, July 24th, and Jatarvius Price was rearrested and transported to the Bibb County Jail, where he has been charged with conspiracy to take a life. Also, warrants for Reginald Harris were served on Wednesday at the Bibb County Jail for the unaliving of Gabby, since he is still behind bars. This is definitely not the outcome anyone wanted, but I'm glad that the family can now have some kind of closure and lay her to rest properly. Gabby wanted so much to make her life better and to do better for her girls, and she did not deserve what happened to her. Now both her daughters have no parents at all, and that is heartbreaking and tragic, all because of a senseless crime. I'm glad the alleged suspects are behind bars and hope that justice is fully served. Also, my thoughts and prayers go out to Gabby's loved ones and her sweet babies in this still difficult time. So please don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers for this family in their difficult time, and hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.